pointing just in your belly button, which is going to get your chest up a little bit higher, because this will straighten up whether you like it or not. As soon as you take a weight away from its fulcrum, which is obviously your lower back, it'll load it up. And then that wonderful decision maker, our brain there, will just go, no chance. I'm not doing that. I'm going to get into a bit more comfortable position that's going to help me a little bit more. You've got a really, really strong grip. I'm not going to touch that until it starts going hard left, and it will do sooner or later. You'll shut the face down a little bit. If I did that right now, you would probably, if I fixed your grip right now without doing anything with your body, you would end up hitting it over the fence over here somewhere. So it's not something that I'm going to do straight away. We'll progress this as we go along. So as you start to move this back, and this doesn't matter whether I've got 3-iron or your 3-iron here or your 9-iron. So we've already started to straighten up and your body's moved up. And as it keeps going, it'll change around even more. So if I put a line there, and I play Mr. Squiggle here, that wonderful decision maker up there, as I said, it will do things to counterbalance the whole time. So you've moved forward with your bum, you've moved forward and up with your head, and now you're in a comfortable position there. So if you have a look at where the handle is there now, from where it started from, a little bit inconsistent.
It's still a bit high. It's not really.
Yeah, it's still a bit high for what we'd like, but given the pattern of the golf swing, we know it's going to do that. We'll look on this side, and we'll start talking about that and basic mechanics. You move the hub, which is basically your sternum. It's more to do with centre of pressure and centre of mass than anything else. And I can talk to you a little bit differently than most people because you'll get those terminologies. The easiest way, if you move the hub, you'll change the contact point with the ground. Okay. So that hub's gone up. So therefore the handle has to go up, and you've got no other option. And it's also gone backwards. So if we don't hit, we'll hit it behind the golf ball. So you'll drop kick it a lot, or you'll hit it halfway up the ball and thin it along the ground and do those types of things. So all of those lead to quite a severe or steep shaft plane here. Very vertical plane there. Okay. Rather than probably at that point in time, we'd like to see it back down through here. And then when we start talking, speed and those types of things, so the shaft now is going through your left forearm. It's actually probably want to go through your right forearm. But that will change when we change your body and get your body. A lot of people will just talk about that shaft plane only, and it doesn't do it by itself. It has to be put there by somebody or something, and that's your body. Okay. So then we start looking at these numbers here, and as I said, the left thing or left to right thing with the longer clubs is that path is a curvature. So when we start looking at, you swing your foot across the football to the left and it will curve left to right. You push your foot out to the right and it will curve right to left, all things being equal. Same thing here. And we get some really good bananas in here. That's a long way left to right. Okay, so in other words, that grey line there is your target line, and this blue line is the path of the golf club, and the club face is the red line. Okay, so it ends up starting left of target here, and then cutting. All right, and then we get to the shorter ones, and there was a couple of good ones. Notice where the path is. Look at the shape of the shot. Pretty damn good. You get it across the line again, and we match the face up with the path, and you pull it to the left. It's not rocket science. Okay, and that's coming from a Doppler radar system, so it struggled to lie essentially. So that's where we're going to head. If we put some players in here, let's see. Well, most people know Stu, so Stuart Appleby, obviously Australian tour player. Hey, come back here. This mouse is really giving me heebie-jeebies. So we start looking at how tall he is, how much more upright the handle is, and then we then start to look at what he's doing, and his head moves a little bit in this. Not a great deal, but you then start to look at where that shaft comes down, and he's got a shorter iron in his hand here. This is 8-iron, and it's still probably a little vertical for my liking, for my preferences. Yourself, clearly these arms go up and you're moving up and around a bit too much, and the forearm here is well high, yeah?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Rather than being matching up with your shoulder plane. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about those couple of things, hey?
Yep.
And get you rotating a little bit more effectively, so you can have a look at his forearm plane is much more down by his shoulders, shoulder plane. Things can travel a little bit longer from there, because the club's got to travel further. You think about on this side, and it's well above my pay grade, but we start talking about angular momentum. The distance between there and the golf ball,
Yeah.
whereas opposed if it was coming down through here and the golf ball is further,
Yep.
so therefore it's got to travel faster. And away we go.
Right.
So we get a bit more distance, but a lot more consistency,
Yep.
as far as that's concerned. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Just